Hey guys, Joe here from the My Life in Collecting YouTube channel. This week I'm going to show you something a little bit different, and I thought I'd take you through one of my video game collections. This time I'm going to show you what my PS Vita collection consists of, ranging from the handheld system itself to the various games that I have for it, as well as to what types of games they actually are. So stay tuned, and I hope you enjoy the video. Okay, so first off, what I'm going to show you here is my actual PS Vita handheld system. As you can see, I picked up a nice leather case for it. I thought this was the best case for it because it does entail it allowing it to stand up by itself. And you can see from this, well, I guess you can see it sort of from the screenshot, but my screen is pretty immaculate. I was careful to pick out this unit. I did buy it used. Though it was from a refurbishment place and a Sony shop refurbishment place, and apparently there was nothing wrong with it. There was no scratches whatsoever, so that was always nice. And I haven't fully explored, obviously, all the functionalities of it. It's pretty much just like if you're familiar with like a Xbox 360 or a PS4 system. There is a considerable amount of layers to it in terms of tabs and menus and whatnot, so I thought that was great. You can see on the top part here, if you're not familiar with the PS Vita, that's where you actually load the game and the memory card. Now you won't be able to see it here, but there's actually a serial code / barcode on the bottom left of it, and this is actually the first PS Vita system that came out. There was two. This is the 1000 model. There's a 2000 series. The 1000 actually consists of the LCD screen, and to me that is the better quality. And as always with any system, you need to have a memory card. Luckily enough, I was able to get these two PS Vita official memory cards for free. One of them actually came with the system, and then when I went back to the refurbishment place, I believe I was asking to purchase another one off of them, and they actually just threw in another 8 gig card. But it's the memory cards for the Vita, unfortunately, are proprietary, so you need to get the Sony ones, and obviously they control the prices on it, so they're considerably more expensive than you would pay for a regular card. Okay, so first I'm going to show you is Conception 2. Again, there is no preference to this. I'm just going to go alphabetical, but as you can see, this is an Atlas game, and Atlas is one of my favorite game producer companies. Conception 2 is a role-playing game with turn-based battles in which players control a student at a high school that doubles as a training facility for demon hunters. The protagonists possess an extremely high amount of ether in his body, and then this allows him to conceive star children to fight demons by quote-unquote, I guess, classmating with his other classmates, so essentially joining up. During battles, fighters can be strategically placed around the enemies, allowing players to either safely target weak points or charge head-on for much bigger rewards in the battles. So in all, I haven't tried this game myself yet personally, but and to be honest with you, I don't remember when I picked it up. It must have been a game that was on sale. But for those of you not familiar with the PS Vita games and what they look like, this is pretty much it. Basically just SD cards that you would put into your phone or a camera. So I'll get around to this playing eventually, but it's an Atlas game, and I've never been let down by Atlas before. Okay, so the next game I have on my list, I haven't even opened this one actually, and I'm still on the fence as to whether I will, but this is Cursed Castile X limited edition. This is a remake of 2012's freeware Matilda Castilla, along with additional levels and content, and it's a 16-bit retro platformer by a Spanish developer, Loco Malito. This sees you as the loyal knight Don Ramiro, sent on a quest by the King of Castile to slay the demon horde that have invaded the kingdom. So basically, if you're a fan of, what's it called? Ghosts and Goblins, you'll be a fan of this game, though this game is supposedly a lot harder than what Ghosts and Goblins is. Again, like I said, this was a limited run release, so I'm on the fence as to whether or not I'm going to open it. I think it's going to go up in value quite a bit, but we'll have to wait and see for that. Okay, so next on my list is a game I'm extremely looking forward to playing, and I'll probably finish or start that when I'm done my current PS Vita game. But this is from the Zero Escape series, the Nonary Games, which is a collection of visual novels. The first began actually back in 2009 when they made the game 999, 9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors. And basically the storyline is simple enough for these games. Strangers are forced into a game of life or death focused around escape the room kind of puzzles. So this Nonary Games has 2 games on there from the Zero Escape Trilogy series, 999, and as well as Zero Escape's Virtue's Last Reward. So looking forward to this one. If you're a fan of sort of like the escape room genre, I think you would probably enjoy picking up this series as well. I believe the first one came out on the actual DS, but I figured since I have the Vita and I can get an upgraded series, why not grab it on this as well? Okay, so next is another game that I haven't tried yet, but has had nothing but rave reviews anywhere I've seen. Persona 4 Golden is equal parts high school drama and dungeon crawling action, in which the main character moves to the countryside in order to make some friends at school, and basically finds a woman murdered. And over the course of the game, the main character and his friends uncover a serial killer tossing victims into another world via TV screens. And so the group of high schoolers is the only thing that can save the day. Basically, you want to think of this as a tale of superpowered high school age detectives. They're like the modern day Monster Squad, because they wield personas which are kind of like spiritual Pokemon characters. So when a turn-based battle kicks off, the kids can call in a persona to attack with certain like ice moves or like fire attacks and so forth. Alright, next is a game that I actually have played on my PS Vita. It is Steamworld Dig, and it's basically a platform mining adventure game with very strong Metroidvanian influences, if you know what that means. So you take the role of Rusty, who's the main character. He's a lone mining steambot, and as he arrives in an old mining town in great need, you have to help him dig your way through the old earth. As you do so, you gain riches while uncovering ancient threats that lurk below. Very good game. If you're into mining or any of that deep sort of exploration games, I think you'd be a fan of this one. I've played many kinds of these versions on my iPhone, and just a big fan of it. Just very fun, very addictive gameplay, and you can upgrade your robot actually as you gather items throughout the game. To help and speed up his digging process, or allow him to go deeper, or allow him to have more energy for digging, or a bigger flashlight so that you can see better the further you go down. So all in all, it was a fun game. I really enjoyed playing it. Okay, and following up Steamworld Dig is its sequel, Steamworld Heist. I got both of them at the same time. Steamworld Heist is a turn-based tactical RPG. Now, this is different from the Dig previous version. In this game, stealing is the name of the game, and it's up to the main character, Piper, and her band of pirates to help or to board enemy vessels and basically plunder as much gold as you can. So basically, when you're boarding one of Heist's many procedurally generated ships, you and your crew basically take turns to duke it out with the enemies. And there's a countdown clock as well, which sort of forces your hand in terms of speeding up your attack. And the main goal is basically to carry or to make off with as much loot that you can carry when evacuating the ship. So certainly different. It's different from Steamworld Dig, though in the same sense it's the same in terms of character based, sort of like a steampunk kind of theme. Next is a game that I cannot say enough good things about. This one I picked up on a whim, and to be honest with you, I think I was just going through some reviews on the computer about PS Vita games, and this one came up again. As you can see, it's another Atlas product. This is called Tiwari Mask of Deception, and this is a grand tale that's going to enchant the hearts and minds of players as it takes them on an incredible journey. It's got a beautiful visual novel story experience. The character depth is intriguing and great. It's a fast-paced SRPG combat. The soundtrack in this game is, in my opinion, world-class and more. And the game is basically the perfect escape for adventurers. I find that this stands out from other visual novels, and also does that also by being not only surprisingly good, but it's got legitimate funny humor in it, and as well as the character depth is extremely interesting and just pulls you along for the ride with the game. I cannot say enough about this. It takes a good chunk. Most Atlas games do take a good portion of time to play. I believe I finished this one without any difficulty, but just through enjoying the pretty much straightforward storyline. May have taken me roughly a little over 60 hours. So good gameplay in terms of if you like reading visual novels. There's not much in terms of battles, though at the start it's more developing the characters and the storylines, and the further you get in the game, especially closer to the end, there is more battles involved. But for the main part, it certainly is a visual story, and in that sense, I believe, in my opinion, it surpasses a lot of games out there. And this one comes with, obviously, a little bit of bonus features, along with, the game and cardboard box. It also comes with a sleeve that holds the game, but this little sort of graphic novel where it portrays and takes you in depth through the character storyline, how they developed certain characters, certain scenes, the logic behind their drawings, and how they chose the particular wardrobes for characters. And in my opinion, it's just little things like this that really add to the the packaging of the game and the whole overall experience, especially if you're a fan of like anime artwork and whatnot. This book is certainly a must-have for collectors. And as always, with all good games, there is a follow-up sequel. So with Mask of Deception, they followed up with Tiwari Mask of Truth. This one I have just started recently. I think I'm about 10 hours into it. And the epic story of Tiwari comes to an end in Mask of Truth, as the fate of the world will be determined by warring nations. The game features exciting SRPG battles, a colorful cast of new and familiar faces that will determine the fate of their world. It's got a rousing original soundtrack and the dramatic conclusion to the journey of the main character, Haku. After the events of Mask of Deception, Haku is destined to rally the nation to fight against the evil forces that now control the kingdom that he came from. With everything on the line, Haku and his friends must do everything in their power to ensure the future of the kingdom triumphs over the true evil that lurks in the depth of the darkness. This game has 70 plus hours of gameplay, which is excellent for those of you who enjoy a long gameplay more bang for their buck. The story is told in its powerful original Japanese voice, acting with English subtitles, much like the first one, Mask of Deception. And there's co-op attacks, players. The battle system in this game is much more complex than the first one. And in that sense, it just adds to the quality of the game. And with this one, there's also a climactic finale to this series and genre, and I hope you guys enjoy it as much as I do. So the next in my PS Vita games is The Wolf Among Us. This game actually came with my PS Vita. For those of you not familiar with this style of gameplay, this is called like the Telltale games. Basically, it's presented to you as an episodic television series. The game is split into 5 parts, which are themselves split into 6, giving you a total of 30 chapters and around 8 to 10 hours of gameplay. Basically, the storyline is following a gruesome murder on your doorsteps. It's down to you to explore the city and find the answer. But before long, it seems that you're caught up in something far more sinister, with characters getting involved and making it far more complicated than you hoped it would be. The quest to find the killer and bring justice in order to Fabletown is going to be difficult. I've heard nothing but good things about this game. And also along with the whole Telltale franchise. They've done like other series like The Walking Dead and whatnot, but I believe this was one of the earlier ones. And supposedly the storyline is great for it. I'm looking forward to putting it into my Vita. And especially it's one of those ones where when you're done playing like say a 60-hour game of Owari Ramono, it's nice to maybe throw in a quick game like this that might be only like, 8 to 10 hours of gameplay and have yourself a quick and yet enjoyable experience. Okay, so next on my list, I picked this one up just for the main title. Huge Final Fantasy fan, and obviously I had to grab myself World of Final Fantasy. Basically, this game is set primarily in the world of Grimoire. This is a land populated by classic Final Fantasy characters, so those of you who are a fan of the series, from characters to their monsters, I think would really enjoy this. This storyline focuses on 2 twins, Lan and Rain. They suffer from amnesia, and yet hold the power in one of their arms to capture and wield mirages, the monsters of Grimoire. They travel to Grimoire to recover their memories, gradually mastering their powers and becoming involved in the conflicts consuming the world. And these include fights between rival factions within the natives and the impending threat of the enemy army. I haven't tried this one yet myself. I've heard mixed things about it. I think I'm going to enjoy it and looking forward to it. Like I said, it's a Final Fantasy game, and I've pretty much enjoyed most of them. But if you've enjoyed the previous ones, I think you probably get a kick out of grabbing this one, and you should as well. Okay, next on my list is Ys, which is a well-known, highly regarded series. This is YZ8 Lacrimosa of Donna. This is an action role-playing game based from a third-person perspective. Players control multiple main characters, each with their own play styles. Basically, the island is an open world, which I really enjoy, which allows for exploration anywhere. And while playing, an abundance of materials will be collected by your characters from defeating local fauna, flora, and basically by opening like treasure chests and doing little missions here and there. These materials can then be crafted into items that the player can use on their journey, such as healing and stronger weapons. So a very similar style to what a lot of people are used to already who play maybe the Ys series or any other sort of RPG style of game, where you need to obviously level up your characters not only through their character stats, but through also upgrading weapons and armor and whatnot from items that you discover throughout the land. I haven't played this one. I have played other Ys games and enjoyed them, so I picked this one up while I got it at a good price. And this will definitely be one that will be on my soon to be PS Vita playlist. I hope you guys enjoy this one as well. I think if you're a fan of the E series, you can't go wrong with picking this one up and adding it to your collection. And on that note, that has concluded what I have in my PS Vita collection. I hope you guys have actually enjoyed this video and taken a walk through some of the games that I've picked up and that I have enjoyed and that I expect to be enjoying in the very near future. As always, you can follow me on Twitter at ACDecepticon. Please share, like, comment, and subscribe to this YouTube channel. I'm trying to regrow it and expand it as much as possible. So if you can share it with your friends, that'd be greatly appreciated. And as well as in the comments, if you can recommend any other channels that I've yet to subscribe to or that you think that I may like, I would appreciate comments as well in terms of directing me into the proper course of finding these people, since it's hard to find everybody out there. Bookmark angrycanadiandecepticon.blogspot.ca. And stay tuned, guys. Take care of each other, and I will see you again very soon in one of my next videos in my life in collecting.